performer, also hates Donald Trump. He's on the New York City circuit. Please give a warm welcome for Lukas Arnold.
Give it up for yourself. Saturday night, how are you feeling? Alright, so as you all know, it's midway through February. I assume you're all sticking to your 2020 resolutions? Woo! Yeah. I've got a buddy who's he's actually sticking to his 2020 resolution. He's running 5 miles a day every single day. Gross, right? Now, me personally, I'm not ready for that kind of growth. I'm still just waiting for my voice and face to match. Sometimes, Sometimes when I meet someone for the first time, they'll be very nice to me. They'll say, "Oh, Lukas, you actually have a really nice voice," which is a really nice compliment. I always appreciate it. But I feel like the subtext of that is, you look disappointing. Kind of like when you go see a play and you don't want to tell your actor friend that he's dog shit on stage, so you say that the lighting was amazing, you know what I mean? To be honest though, I don't feel that bad for myself. I don't feel that bad. Because I do very well for modern dating. Like if you go on an app, and you see my profile, you see my face, and you swipe right, and then you hear what I sound like in person. That's a very good order of operations for someone like me. Because if you swiped right on what I sounded like, and then formed an image of what you thought you were going to get in your head, and then you saw me in person, that's false advertising. And I owe you an apology. I'll tell you who I actually do feel quite bad for is Prince Archie. You guys know who I'm talking about? I'm talking about, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's kid. I feel bad for that kid, because his parents, they just split off from the royal family, but no matter where this kid is going to get raised, he's going to have to deal with the pressures of not only being a royal, but also being the first person born into royalty who is also of African American descent, besides Beyonce. Now, me personally, I don't know the pressures of being a royal. However, I do know what it's like to be the child of a white dude and a half-black, half-white woman. And I can tell you for a fact that this kid is not prepared for how disappointingly white he's going to become one day. I'll tell you what I mean when I say disappointing. It's very specific. Like, I see a good few white guys in the room. White guys, I need you to imagine just for a moment that you're black. And let's be honest, you have. Alright, imagine that you're black, alright? Imagine you grew up in the UK, alright? From an early age, you've been taught to worship a group of inbred rich white people. And then, out of nowhere, an African American woman marries into the family, revolutionizing what you thought was possible for people with pigment. And then you find out that they're going to have a child. And more than anyone else in history, more than anyone else in the royal family, this kid has the potential to actually understand the issues that pertain to black people, like you, sir. How would you feel if the best representative you had as black people looked like a walking gluten allergy like me? Like I said, my mom is mixed. My mom is from a country called the Sudan. It's just south of Egypt, and they just overthrew a military dictatorship, and now they're 30, flirty, and thriving. My mom had an interesting childhood. When she was a kid in the Sudan, across the street from her school, she used to love to go to this halal cart that was just across the street. Or as they're called in Muslim countries, carts. She used to tell me that the meat that you could buy from this halal cart was the best in the world. So delicious. She was very disappointed a few years ago to find out that, oh no, the guy who ran this halal cart was put in prison. And the reason why is because the meat he was selling, wait for it, was from stray cats. 100% true. He was taking stray cats off the street, killing them, butchering them, cooking, and selling the next day, like an African Sweeney Todd. And as gruesome as that is, I think that would make a way better Cats movie. I do a lot of voiceover work, you guys. A lot of the stuff I do is educationally based stuff like corporate training, medical narration, stuff like that. Sometimes my friends ask me if I learn a lot on the job since a lot of the stuff I do is educational. The answer is no. I don't learn a thing. Like, I once narrated a surgery instructional video. I know less about the human body now than before I did this video. The one thing I have learned, though, is that Americans really have no idea what happens in other cultures. And the reason I know is because a friend of mine did a series of videos teaching American businessmen about other cultures. You know, because you'll get sent on a business trip to another country, and you need to make a good impression for your company, you know. So they would do these videos for countries like China, the Arab Emirates, Staten Island, foreign countries. Strange people, strange customs. Now, he did a video on Colombia. This is a direct quote from the video he had to do on Colombia. Direct quote. When meeting and greeting Colombians, be aware that they have a tendency to speak somewhat louder than you are used to. Your first reaction may be to back up. However, you must resist this temptation as it is considered rude. I was reading the script he sent me. I realized they were just full-on treating Colombians as if they were these wild creatures that you have to be gentle with for your own safety. Like, I would not have been surprised if they just went full-on nature documentary. Like, if you feel you are in danger, throw some fried plantains on the ground and back away slowly. And if that doesn't work, open up your jacket to appear as large as possible. Because remember, they are more afraid of you than you are of them. Guys, that's my time. You've been amazing.
Lukas Arnold! Walking gluten allergy.